Okay. So, did y'all see the episode? I hope. Okay. The bad guys in this are pretty easy to spot when it comes to war. They're usually one on the opposite side, but it's not that simple. Even the most sadistic, depraved minds believe there's some justification for doing what they do. And they believe they're right, too. Negan is that way. He seems to genuinely believe he and his saviors are saving people from the chaos of the world, even though his power structure favors the 1% of the sanctuary. There may also be forced labor, etc., shady coercion and physical intimidation, but he's doing the best he can in his own mind, okay? And Eugene, well, he's an interesting, I guess you could call him a kind of like a lens to see that side of Negan. Eugene's a tactician, a coward, but he thinks everything out and makes the best possible decision for himself based on the evidence. It's why he accepted a position among Negan's generals. He's a coward and physically weak, so it would behoove him to gain favor and power within Negan's ranks. So, despite everyone else who is trampled in his wake. But there's still some humanity left in him. I'm not sure. What do you all think about Eugene? Despite all the selfish choices he's made in the past, he brought Gabriel pillow after he was hauled into a cell, and still maintains some feeling for his. They're not his friends; they're just traveling companions, which he now calls Rick's group. All his friends they're just his traveling companions. I was like, ooh, that's cold, Eugene, cold. So he's faced with two options. He can work with Gabriel and Dwight, or he can continue his service to Negan. Which is the right choice and which is the right choice for Dwight is what Eugene has to figure out. According to some critics, this season still has some ongoing issue that everyone is their own worst enemy. But isn't that the truth, though? I think that's kind of what they're trying to say, in a way. Everybody's their own worst enemy in this thing. So, but when compared to other episodes dedicated to the sanctuary side, we're getting a clearer argument for why one could possibly think Negan is, and I put it in quotations, why Negan is, he thinks he's a good guy. First off, though, we're going to talk about Rick. Wow. He realizes Jadis and the garbage people are much creepier than they appear. Well, of course, we all know this. As they open the container cell, he's been sitting with his hands tied, nothing but his underwear. And it's the same underwear from season 1. Did anybody not notice this? I don't think it's the same, but it's the same. Okay, let's hope not anyway. I would think along the way they'd have picked up some cleaner underwear. But anyway, he's sitting in his hands tied, nothing but his underwear, and Jadis is waiting for him with a camera. While one of her garbage pail people is sitting with a sketch pad. And Rick warns that they still have a chance to join his cause or die. But she's busy taking photos. We get it, Jadis. Andrew Lincoln's body is sick, man. Oh, yeah, it's bad. But okay, Jadis, yeah, we know you want to lay with him, but we stray from the point here. They want to create references so they can sculpt him after. After what? Then the after part is what worries Rick as he's again sealed up in the container. Yeah, that's and it's hot as hell, obviously. But what's the after part? And back at Sanctuary, Eugene's grappling with the discovery that Dwight is a mole. He doesn't quite know what to do. And he's a list maker. Eugene is a list maker. We all know this. And he tries to separate what he knows and what he knows he doesn't know. Got it? He tries to separate what he knows and what he knows he doesn't know from what he's wholly unaware of. And then he comes to a conclusion of making a compromise. He approaches Dwight in his room and says he won't rat him out to Negan if he can promise to cease his mission and not harm anyone in the sanctuary. This part was great, where Dwight just throws him into the chair and tries to remind him of everything horrible Negan has done to the people. You've heard the screams. You've smelled the burning flesh. But Eugene's been drinking the Kool-Aid, his own stash of pickles. Basically, don't mix it up good, right, Chris? He's been kind of drinking the Kool-Aid, that's his personal stash of pickles, for too long. Okay? He's had it pretty easy, actually. Yeah, Negan got into his face a little bit, but I don't know. Negan, yeah, he treats him as better than a lot of people. He wants what he knows. He wants him to fix the intercom system and figure out a water supply and find out who the mole is. Oh, little does he know. Okay. And he reasons that what Negan has going there isn't perfect, but they're saviors, and they're here to save. Eugene. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Oh. Take his pickles away, that's what I say. So Eugene leaves Dwight with the ultimatum and finds Laura. She's the one with the neck tattoo. I can talk. With the neck tattoo. She's reinforcing the front door. And he's like, how long do you think? And she's like, meh. At the most 2 days before the walkers break in and massacre everyone in the sanctuary. So their time is running out as far as the, and I quote, sanctuary goes, because it's not going to be sanctuary much longer. So, and you have to remember here, Dwight's walking a fine line. He has to be so careful. He can't, show the emotions he wants to. He's going against everything he wants to say, to prove he's Negan still. So he's got some pent-up frustration, I'm sure. I mean, he hates Negan. Cripe, look at his face. He did that to his face. Took his wife, kills people around him, his friends, etc. So he's not a real fan of Negan. He wants him destroyed. So as Eugene is walking down a hallway, it's kind of dark in there, half lit. Harlan, the doctor from Hilltop, calls him into the medical room to look after Gabriel. Oh, thank God. Oh, here it's just an infection. We were, of the three things we talked about last week, either it was a bite, the heat, or I forget what the other ones. He has an infection. So, and Harlan pities Gabriel's condition and wishes they had more medicine. But Eugene wishes Gabriel didn't conspire to put them in their current situation in the first place. The doctors leave them to go find some herbs down in the marketplace there for some Eastern medicinal treatment. And as Gabriel struggles to lift his glass of water, Eugene helps him, though forcefully, so mirroring his inner conflict. He's trying to help Gabriel, but he hates him for his part in the uprising. And as Father Gabriel's trying to talk, and he implores Eugene to do the right thing. Though he says the right thing could be right for some and damn near horrific for others. So, taking Eugene's hand, Gabriel points to the near-biblical phenomena of the dead rising again, and arguing it's not out of the realm of possibility that he will know what the right thing is when it presents itself. And Eugene is left with a splotch of blood on his thumb when Morgan, who's watching the sanctuary from a building, his sniper post, catches sight of Daryl pulling up in a truck. So, and then he goes off on Father Gabriel like you wouldn't believe. I'm like, wow, Eugene, take a chill pill. I'm not sure if he is all Negan or he's trying to convince himself. I'm just not sure. But wow, he is really, if he's Negan, I think, I don't know. God, I couldn't believe he said what he said. It was unbelievable. And here comes Tanya, who is one of Negan's wives, goes to meet Eugene in his room. And they had made a deal. If he fixed her stereo, she'd pay in wine. He hasn't been able to complete the repairs because the stress of the walkers on their doorstep. But she says she's always been trapped, so she hasn't thought much of being physically trapped. She's always been trapped there, basically. Proving that at the end of the day, Eugene's logic on all this is still horse crap. Right? Right. While he admitted aloud to Gabriel that he is a very selfish person who's only looking out for himself, of course, he really went off on Father Gabriel. It's like, wow, chill out, Eugene. The man's sick. And he's just his traveling companion. Really? Wow, keep telling yourself that. His actions still suggest he's trying to do right. His implication is that the way is worse for everyone involved. The way of Rick's groups. That Rick's group's way is worse for everyone involved. Yet he forgets about all the women who are forced to marry and have sex with Negan through blackmail. All the people who are run-weary working for Negan and his generals, and all of those who've been ruthlessly executed for wanting out, and those who have been brutalized day in and day out. Wake up, Eugene. Do you not? I mean, you think he would see this, but his analytical mind, I think, is, I think he's saying it because he wants to believe that, but I don't know if he really does. And before she leaves, Eugene asks Tanya if he could still have the second bottle of wine to help him sleep. She reminds him that, hey, you could have helped me and Frankie before when they asked him for something to kill Negan. But instead, of course, he looked out for himself. And now that's weighing on him. She leaves him with his own guilt and the wine when Laura comes to summon Eugene to Negan. Yeah, he's at his beck and call. I'm just shocked at the things he said, that he's with Negan and he's a savior. I'm just like, Eugene, no. Do y'all still believe he's still a double agent? I'm beginning to wonder. I really am, and I hate to say it. I really am. And of course, while all this is going on, Daryl and Tara are getting ready to screw everything up. Rick can't leave these people alone for 5 minutes, and you got rogues everywhere. You can't, it's like leaving kids alone for 5 minutes in a room. Something's going to happen. And Rick can't leave these people without something going wrong. So, Dwight mentioned to Eugene earlier that all he has to do is ensure Rick's group's victory and just be patient and let the plan play out. Of course, these folks can't do that. No. With Michonne and Rosita by their side, they're planning to plow a truck straight through the sanctuary walls to let the walkers flood in. They're assuming there's walkers on the other side of the compound, so everything should be hunky-dory. Both Michonne and Rosita both question why they can't just wait things out when so many things, things could go south so quick. And they could be acting, in haste. And Tara mentioned